sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join a live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, that's great. Go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button, though. If you want to also support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Get yourself a t-shirt, coffee mug, and many other items to choose from. So, how's everybody doing today? I am doing, I guess, okay. I need to finish waking up. I actually woke up early today, too. And went and got my CAT scan yesterday, and I don't know. They haven't given me my results, but I'm pretty sure the scan of the cat is okay. So, but it kind of pissed me off. Sort of like this mic stand is right now. It's waited over an hour. Go back there, lay on the table. They rolls you into the machine, pulls you right back out, puts you right back in, pulls you out, and the lady walked in and said, "You're done." I was like, that wasn't even 5 minutes. She's like, "I know, it's quick." I was like, what the frig? I just waited over an hour. I was like, yeah, that's messed up. And they weren't calling people back. They weren't. And they called like 3 of us back at one shot. So that kind of ticked me off. But we'll see what they say. Like I said, they're trying to figure out exactly. I know I have spinal injuries, cervical injuries, but they're trying to figure out the rest of the issues with the pain and all that. But that's for a different show. Well, the FBI director, James Comey, came out and spoke. And he's rebuffing Clinton's claim that the FBI only conducted a security inquiry on the emails. Now, this is pretty bad because she's out campaigning and she's saying, well, they only talked to me about a security inquiry. And he's come out and gone, no, we don't do that. Nope. But Hillary Clinton for months has downplayed the FBI investigation and to her private email server and practices as merely security inquiries. But when asked Wednesday by Fox News about Clinton's characterization of the Bureau's probe, FBI Director James Comey said that he doesn't know what a security inquiry means, adding, "We're conducting an investigation. That's what we do." That's been said multiple times by the FBI. They investigate. They don't play political partisans. They don't go on political witch hunts. They investigate. They don't do security inquiries. The FBI director reiterated that he's not familiar with the term security inquiry. When told, that is the phrase Clinton has used. As the timeline for the investigation, Comey, during A briefing with reporters said he prefers doing the investigation well over promptly and said he's not tethered to a schedule. Sorry, I need my coffee. The briefing comes amidst reports that FBI investigators have been meeting with top aides in Clinton's inner circle, including Huma Abedin and Cheryl Mills. The interviews have stoked speculation that the investigation may soon be drawing to a close in the heat of a 2016 political season. Asked Wednesday if he would make a public report regardless of whether criminal charges are pursued, Comey said he would not say at this time, but he said there are no special set of rules for anybody that the FBI investigates. I say what I've said now for many, many months, Clinton said. It's a security inquiry. She just keeps sticking to that. And that was Clinton on her campaign teams repeatedly describing the security inquiry. Most recently on CBS's Face the News this past Sunday, Clinton used the term when asked how she would respond to people worried about the FBI probe is a big deal. It's a security inquiry. I always took classified material seriously. There was never any material marked classified that was sent or received by me, and I look forward to this being wrapped up. The only problem is there's 22 emails. There's a lot of others that are classified within the top secret realm that can be released to the public. There's 22 that are so top secret that were on her email server, they can't release them. And it doesn't say in the law whether you know or not. It's if you receive or send, and she has received and sent. There is an email of her telling them how to get around the classified email. She is lying her ass off. She knows it. The FBI knows it. The people know it. And anybody backing her and saying it's all a lie needs to get their head out of their fucking ass. Plain and simple. She is guilty. And they have offered immunity to the gentleman that set up the email server. You do not offer immunity just for shits and giggles. That means they have somebody that they want to charge with a crime. They know he has information that they need. That's why they offer that. They don't offer that to any Tom, Dick, or Harry. They just don't, hey, we'll give this away to you. No, they know she had, or that person, gentleman, has information, and it will help their investigation, and it will help lead to a conviction. The FBI probe is proceeding as Clinton tries to wrap up the Democratic presidential nomination. Though she leads by hundreds of delegates, she has not yet clinched the nomination, and rival Bernie Sanders is vowing to take the fight to the convention. He fueled his own underdog bid with a primary win Tuesday in West Virginia. There appears to be several moving parts in the FBI investigation. And real quick on Bernie Sanders, I don't like him. I don't like what he stands for, the socialism. I don't care how many names you put in front of it. It's socialism, and I do not like him. But I will give this old man credit. I will give him credit. I gave him zero chance. I figured he'd be long gone by now. That old man's a fighter, and I give him credit for that. I may not care for people. I may not care for the ideology, but if they do something, I can say I respect that. I respect the fight he has. He's not laying down for Hillary. Well, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but yeah, I give him credit. He is putting up a fight. I'm shocked. I wouldn't have given him any chance, and I don't know. He's putting up a fight, and I love it because it's, and this is what I said before Indiana vote for the Republicans, that we needed to get this shit done with the Republican side so we could start working on the general election while she's still wrapped up in a fight. She's still fighting while we are planning our general election. While Trump can start taking shots at Hillary, she can't put much of her effort towards him because she's got to worry about this old man, Sanders. She's got to worry about an FBI investigation. And it's not just the email. There is 2 investigations in the FBI. One into the finances of the Clinton Foundation. And don't let anybody fool you. That one's a big one. That one was discovered through the emails. That's how that investigation got started, not because of rumors or a book. That got started because of emails on her server because, well, she decided to let people die at Benghazi, which started an investigation, which then they noticed emails missing. They found out about the email server, private email server, which led to investigation of the email server, which has now uncovered some possible wrongdoing within the Clinton Foundation. So she's got multiple issues, and I love how they just keep pushing towards the email, and they're not talking about the other one. Anybody with more than one brain cell understands that the Clintons have been doing things not so up and up over the years, and there's never been really proof. And now that they're getting into the inner circle, so to speak, and getting private communications, it's starting to come to light, all the dirty things they do. So she's got more than just Bernie Sanders to worry about. She's got to worry about 2 FBI investigations. And don't forget, her daughter is the one heading up the Clinton Foundation now. She can get charged too. It could be a whole family affair of the Clintons. And I could see Hillary throwing her daughter under the bus. Hillary does not give a rat's ass. But, like I said, there's several moving parts to this FBI investigation. There's the former State Department IT staffer Brian Paglioni, who installed and maintained the server. And he has been granted immunity by the Department of Justice and is cooperating with the FBI. As I said, they just don't give immunity to anybody. They have to have information that will lead to charges and ultimately an arrest. Because then, if not, they can always take back that immunity and charge them. And another development, the infamous Romanian hacker known as Guccifer, who was extradited to the U.S. to face cyber charges, recently told Fox News he easily breached Clinton private email servers in early 2013. Now, nobody's been able to independently confirm the claims, but an intelligence source told Fox News last month that Guccifer, whose real name is Marcel Lazar, could help the FBI make the case that Clinton's email server may have been compromised by a third party. Guccifer told Fox News that he spoke with the FBI at length on the plane when extradited from Romania to Virginia last month. Speaking from the Virginia jail where he's being held, Guccifer, said the conversation was 80 minutes recorded, and he took his own notes. A government source confirmed that the hacker had a lot to say on the plane, but provided no other details. Well, I know we have no proof yet, but he knows he's going to have to show proof. He knows he's got to prove what he did. And yes, if he was able to do it and he can show proof, maybe they ought to strike a deal with the man. I mean, I don't know what his other charges are that we extradited him on, but maybe we need to give him immunity. It might be worth it. Attorney General Loretta Lynch also was asked earlier this week about the timeline of the Clinton email probe, but said she could not make any predictions. I'm still laughing inside about how Clinton keeps describing it as a security, hello, Kel, a security inquiry. And the FBI comes out and goes, we're conducting an investigation. That right there, it's just smacked Hillary Clinton right upside the head. How are you today, Kel? Oh. And we missed you last night for Southside Mutt's show. I still have trouble trying to say that all together. Southside Mutt show. Too many S's. Too many S's. I should have renamed it something else. But we took a format last night. We tried something. We had no notes. No nothing. Zero. Even the start of the conversation, it was just, I don't even know how we started it. And it started with talking about the lines and the food shortage in Venezuela. And we just tagged it along. I was actually very shocked how the show went. We went very smooth. There was no dead spots. And we were able to take from no notes, no conversation, no nothing, and did a straight show an hour's worth. We talked about the Declaration of Independence coming from the socialism to how our government's acting and how we have a right to overthrow the government, to how some kids are being taught that that's just a movie phrase that has nothing to do with reality. And it scares me how these kids are being taught that that's not reality, that we don't have the right to overthrow our government. When it's paragraph 2, something like sentence 3 of the Declaration of Independence, it says we have the right to. And we just went on to talk about how these kids are being taught wrong. Our Constitution's being changed in our schooling. And it's scary. We talked about the New Jersey woman getting arrested. Granted, I don't agree with what she did. I think she was being a bitch. But she got pulled over by the New Jersey State Police. She handed over all of her documentation as she was asked. Her license, registration, insurance. The officer started asking her, do you know why I pulled you over? And she just would not talk to the officer. She chose to remain silent. And she was arrested for it. And the funny part is it's all on camera, and they have her out of the car and they start reading her Miranda right and says, you have the right to remain silent. She was arrested for remaining silent. Now, Crash was saying he's heard that on the radio several times, and an officer called in and said because it's an investigation, even when you're pulled over for speeding, it starts an investigation. And by you not speaking, you have not been given your Miranda rights yet. That's only after you've been arrested. She was obstructing an investigation. And my answer is simple. She has the Fifth Amendment right. Whether she's been Mirandized or not, you have your constitutional rights at all time. She had her right to remain silent. She had a right to not incriminate herself. That is a constitutional right that's given at all times. Her constitutional rights were trampled on by that officer. And it went so far when she was arrested, the ranking officer back at headquarters pulled the tape, looked it over, walked in, released the lady immediately and said, sorry, it was a rookie mistake, even though the cop wasn't a rookie anymore. He said it's a training moment. Well, I'm sorry, when you falsely arrest somebody, that is not a training moment. That is a crime at that time. There was no reason to arrest a woman. For number one, I don't have to play guessing games with an officer. And if I have the right to remain silent even before, because if not, then you can't use anything that is said before that. You cannot start an investigation because you cannot make me incriminate myself, force me by law to incriminate myself just so you can find criminal activity. I have a right not to answer you. And that's what pisses me off. I think the lady was being a bitch to you, officer. Just she's trying to make a point. And it didn't turn out that great for the state police either of New Jersey. And everybody thinks when I sit here bring this up that I'm out to bash officers. I'm not. Do I think they were out to kill somebody? No. Do I think they were purposely out to trample on her constitutional right? No. Do I think they acted improper? Yes. Do I think this is something we need to look at and say this is where we need to improve on? Yes. But at the same time, if that woman, because she may have not liked officers, instead she started cussing and screaming and yelling at the officers, insulting them, degrading them, everybody would be like, oh, why didn't she just shut her mouth if she didn't like them? Well, she shut her mouth and she got arrested for it. The cops, some of these cops and those two officers showed that the power's gone to their head. That doesn't mean all cops are like that. I know a lot of cops and I know they're great and they love doing their job and they love protecting the people. And these cops give them a bad name. But because she didn't want to answer a question does not mean she was to be arrested. All right. We'll be right back. And you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Catholics do it, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover has arrived, and we are here, and we have expanded the show to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to reaver.one, click on the live stream. If you like that live stream, don't forget to click the little subscribe button. If you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, pick yourself up a t-shirt. Yeah, I'm not even wearing one of mine today. I just noticed that. Yeah, bad boy. All right. So I also want to remind, I'm waiting to, we'll probably get interrupted, if you want to call it interrupted. We have Sackhead Sean, Dan the Man Butcher, and Ken the Conservative. They are in Texas for the GOP convention. And they're supposed to be calling in either today or tomorrow with some updates on what's going on. So just waiting to see when and if they call. Bruce Jenner is now, Caitlyn Jenner, whatever, is going to pose nude for ESPN. Yeah. Gonna leave that one alone. I just this world's going really sideways lately, and weird things are happening. Weird things, I tell you. But the Great Lakes go from climate change-induced low water levels to record high in 3 years. Between 2010 and 2013, residents of the states surrounding the Great Lakes were told that climate change was permanently altering their environment, and the record low levels being recorded in the lakes may be the new normal. But now, only 3 years later, news reports are worried about beach erosion because the lakes have rebounded to record high levels of water. This week, throughout the Chicago media landscape, as well as in reports in Michigan and Wisconsin, stories about the loss of swimming areas on public beaches are filling airwaves and newspaper pages. Residents and city officials are warning citizens that water levels in the Lake Michigan and other lakes are so high that the shallow swimming areas have been reduced as the water rises. Reports are also expressed worried over beach erosion and fears that the rising water is a danger to other infrastructures like roads. So first they're crying and carrying on because the water level went down. Now they're crying and carrying on because the water level is up. This goes to, it is not a man-made issue. It's called Mother Nature. And Mother Nature can be a bitch at times, whether she takes away the water or gives too much water. This climate change bullcrap is just all the supposed quote unquote facts have been going down the toilet. Less people are believing in the bullshit. And anybody with common sense can see the lies that are being told about this. And this 97% scientist keeps going. More people are waking up to the lies that are being expressed to them. And it's funny because they keep getting louder. And literally they keep getting louder, screaming and carrying on and making threats because their money-making scheme is being exposed. Global warming is nothing more than a scam. Nothing more than a cult. That's all. In Chicago, DNAinfo.com, for instance, notes the water levels have risen a whopping 4 feet since 2013, and the new water is swallowing up beaches. According to the Army Corps of Engineers, the water has risen 15 inches higher than this time last year and may rise another 6 inches before the summer heat starts its cycle of evaporation. The Chicago Tribune reports that the northern suburb of East Evanston is losing beachfront property. All our beaches are shrinking. Evanston Park Director Lawrence Hemingway said. For its part, Chicago Fox affiliates worries about the city's lakeshore bike path is being destroyed by higher water levels. And it's funny thinking, Chicago, Michigan, all them waterfront property. When you say waterfront property, I don't know. I think California. I think Florida, New Jersey, Texas. That I don't know why. That's when you say waterfront, beachfront property. That's what I think of, not Detroit, Chicago. It just doesn't click in my head. But this is just another example of the lies that have been pushed upon people. The Chicken Little sky is falling. Climate change is drying up all these lakes. Because there's God knows how many lakes that have been in existence on this planet. And they have dried up long before even humans were around. And there is all over America lakes, or what used to be lakes, that are no more. And it has nothing to do with man-made climate change. It is called Mother Nature. The salt flats. Why are they salt flats? Because they used to be huge ocean there with salt water. That's gone. And there's so many examples. Mother Nature will change our weather. Mother Nature will dry up in some areas. And you might have a couple of years of dry weather, and then you'll have rainy weather. It happens. It's called Mother Nature. We don't have the same weather every day, every year, time and time again. This climate change is nothing but a scam to take money from ones and give to others. It is a pyramid scheme. And a lot of people fell for it over the years, and a lot of people are waking up to it. And this is one example. And it's just, it's funny that they're getting record highs. And they'll still say that is because man-made global warming. But the Detroit Free Press also noted that the high water is erasing beaches, and the water is at a high not seen since the 1990s. Lake Michigan, of course, isn't the only lake rising. As a report from April about Lake Huron points out, all the lakes are rising. We even got kids that are going to graduate this year that have never seen any warming. But even as these news outlets are shocked and concerned about the record high levels of water filling the Great Lakes to overflow today, only a few short years ago, these same sort of news outlets were worried that the lakes were irreversibly shrinking and climate change was desolating both commerce and the environment. Oh, the humanity. Oh, wait, that's Mother Nature, not climate change. In 2013, for example, Chicago's public TV WTTW bemoaned a dramatic change in the climate that was warming the lakes, lowering water levels, and threatening to destroy commerce and environment. The local PBS story was also went national as the PBS News Hours ran stories on the environmental disaster the lakes were experiencing. And in 2012, National Geographic's warned that the climate-related trend was on the verge of laying waste to the region. I used to have respect for National Geographics. Then too many of those idiots got involved in it, and now they try pushing the cult onto everybody else. It just, thank God people honestly did not listen to some of these idiots. You have Crane's Detroit was also writing in 2013 that the communities living on the edge of the region's monumental bodies of water were going to have to adapt to the new normal of climate change. I guess the new normal wasn't normal. And if anybody would have actually listened to these idiots, they would now be underwater. Naturally, for far left sources were absolutely sure that global warming was drying up the lakes, and in 2013, far left website Think Progress worried its readers with claims that climate change was damaging the lakes and would present implications for the environment and the economy. The Natural Resource Defense Council even contemplated lawsuits to prevent cities on the lakes from tapping into them as a source of water. On the other hand, less alarmist stories noted that the water level was affected by things other than global warming. In 2013, USA Today promptly noted that some of the water drop was a result of massive dredging campaigns launched by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, a project meant to allow shipping and transportation to more easily ply the waters of the Great Lakes. Still, it is amazing to see the difference in coverage. Today, with water levels hitting record highs, news reports and city officials worry over their loss of beachfront property. And not a word is mentioned of climate change. Yet only 3 years ago, the same officials and news reports were sure that climate change was here to stay. And we better get used to the shrunken Great Lakes. It's what a difference a few years makes. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe to that stream. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt or two. Yes, Susan Rice is an idiot. Kel is posting articles in the chat room, and she says that America's national security agencies are too white. I'm so sick of it. It makes me want to run my head into a wall. So before we get to the next article, I got to tell you this little story. So last night, I coming back from the doctors, and before Southside Much show, there was a new gun store that opened up a couple minutes from my house. So I wanted to stop by and went in and talk to him. I got talking to him about it. I built an AR-15 not too long ago, and I haven't gone out and fire it yet. And we got talking. The guy's like, well, did you do this and this? And I'm like, he's using all these high terms on everything, and I have no friggin' clue. I'm not an idiot, and I looked the build. I studied it, and I looked it up. And he's like, well, let me take a look at it. Make sure everything's... Actually, I asked him because he had me nervous because he's talking about the thing blowing up my face. And I had asked him. He's like, yeah, bring it down. So I bring it down. He's like, oh, yeah, see that tube there? That tube's an 1/8 inch too long. The gun's going to blow up in your face. All right. I'll bring it back tomorrow. I'll work on it. And, you need to sell that to somebody and then come back and buy one of the uppers that I have. Something didn't seem right with that. So there's actually another gun store that I dealt with several times on the way back home, and they have actually a firing range. So all I had was the upper. I stopped by, and I go in there, and the guy behind the counter, and I start talking to him about it, and I asked him if he could just take a look at it. And there's a guy that was waiting, and the guy that was working there knew him and called him over. And they both looked. They said, it looks perfectly fine. And the guy goes, listen, I think it was 16 years Army infantry. He goes, yeah, I know about M16s and where that tube's supposed to be, and that's fine. So, well, the guy's got me scared shitless about firing this thing. He's telling me it's going to blow up in the face. And the guy behind the counter goes, I'll fire it for you. I don't give a shit. I was like, all right. So I ran home, and I'm sitting there like, I got the show tonight. My wife's like, go. So I grabbed my shit and went back down. No. Except for one incident, he pulled the trigger on the first one. We hear it click, nothing. Bullet jammed in there. Shit. So he gets all out. He takes a look, takes the BCG out, which is the bulk carrier group. And it was a little sticky, like not lubed up. So he lubed it up for me, threw it back in there, puts rounds in it, put the clip in it, starts firing perfect. Picks it up. He goes, let's see how close, because I have not fired it. I threw a scope on it. Haven't even got it on target yet. Starts firing it. He goes, you're almost dead center on the target. He goes, you're a little bit down and to the left. So when you fire, just go down and to the left till you get it correct. And I'm talking, he was at a good, I want to say 50 yards. And it was to the left and down 2 inches, I would say. And he's sitting there firing. It's fine. Here you go. I'm like, dude, thank you very much. I'm like, sorry. He's like, no, I understand. The guy scared the shit out of you. He goes, I don't mind. I've been doing this a long time. I looked at it. I thought it was fine. So he goes, at least I know you can fire with safety. So this guy, what it made me feel like, and it now feels like I won't do business with that company again, is because now I think he was trying to scam me out of my build, scare me so that I'd spend money buying one of his uppers. Because if it was so unsafe, why is he telling me to sell it on Facebook? Those are the companies I don't like. Those are the companies that piss me off. I don't know if the guy was seriously worried or he was just trying to scam me into buying one of his products. But the gun fires nicely. And I don't know. If anybody knows about AR-15s, you would understand the tube I'm talking about. And he was saying it was like an 1/8 inch. And I was looking, he's showing me another build, and I'm looking, I'm going, the tubes are in the same spot. And he's like, oh, no. This is about an 1/8 inch off. All right, I'm looking, and it looks the exact same spot yours is. But let's get back on track, because there is something I want to talk about, and I love it. I love it. There's a Wyoming welder. He's facing $16 million in fines from the EPA, and because he built a pond on his 9 acres. He built a pond, a water retention pond. And they're fining him up to $16 million. And yes, Cal, at Facebook, it seems like they got caught. They denied it, and now they're trying to make it difficult again. They're trying to bury conservative groups. Only reason why I still use Facebook and Twitter is because of the show. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't use either one. And I can't wait to the day someone creates, and if I had the backing and the money and the know-how, I would create something to compete against Facebook with that would be more open and stop the censorship. Whether it was liberals or conservatives, it doesn't matter. They should not be censoring and hiding. That tells me that they're scared of the truth and they got to bury the truth. Zuckerberg has to bury the truth because it is more popular than the liberal lies. That shows that the liberals are lying and they got to hide their information or opposing information. They got to hide the opposing views because they know it's at a higher rate. There's more people with the conservative views. The conservative views outnumber the liberals, so they got to hide it to make the liberals look like they are the majority. Mark Zuckerberg is a piece of shit, lying. He stole the idea of Facebook. Does anyone think the guy is honest when he was hired to make Facebook for a bunch of college kids and he stole the idea from them and ripped them off? That right there should have told everybody not to use that program. But unfortunately, I have to use it for the show. I wish I didn't have to. It's disgusting. A bunch of lies. And it proves that the liberal mindset is fading. It proves that people do not want the liberal mindset. Because if they wanted it, you would not need to hide the conservative groups and mindset. There's more of us. And that just goes to show about it more and more. I mean, I've seen other ones, they've tried to start and create an opposing program, so to speak, but they never really get it off the ground. But I'll tell you what, it's funny with this dipshit Mark Zuckerberg. He stole the idea. He got paid to steal the idea from the same people. He was being paid to create the program. He took their money. But I bet you if I create something that even has a similar name as Facebook, you better believe that piece of shit would be trying to sue me. Zuckerberg, and he proves about, he wants more HB1V or whatever those damn visa are. He sits there and talks about fair wages, but then wants those visas extended so he can hire more of them and fire American workers. So he doesn't have to pay the high wages to him. But he's for high wages. Everybody else should have to pay but him. I don't see his dumb ass paying high wages to Americans. No, he wants to bring in foreign workers and use them as slaves. Because that's what happens with the H-1B1 visas. You become a slave. The company that you're working for holds your visa. And if you try to go find another job, they can have you deported. So you become a slave, a modern-day slave to these companies. Yes, you're getting paid, but you're getting way paid under the American worker. I mean, it's Walt Disney doing the same thing. They've done the same thing. They replaced their American workers with foreign workers at a lower rate. Not because they care about the foreign workers. It's because they can pay their foreign workers a lower rate. And these are the same companies that scream, yes, we should have $15. Pay these people $15 an hour. Pay them $20 an hour. But yet you fire your American workers so you can bring in foreign workers. And maybe I'm not doing a good enough job, but I haven't got suspended yet. I feel left out. I have not got suspended by Facebook. I guess I'm not doing that good job as a conservative. It is a joke. Facebook is. And I wish there was an alternative. Sorry, I'm actually looking at Facebook because I'm looking at Sean and Ken the Conservative. It's and Dana Lausch. She is a disgusting woman. She attacked another woman and made fun of her flat chest. And ends up the woman removed her breast because she has the gene for a certain breast cancer. So now she's getting attacked back for her disgusting comments, and she's trying to justify it, saying that her family has had that same issue. She knows what it's like. Well, if you knew what it was like, why did you make the attack? It is absolutely disgusting. The woman has lost it. We've known that since she started backing Cruz, the way she backed Cruz. She's a vile, disgusting, sorry excuse for a human. And to think several people actually thought she was a champion for the American way when she turns out the only thing she wanted was money in her pocket. She does not care about anything else, the truth. She is a vile woman. And she wants to make excuses and then gets upset when she gets attacked for making a vile comment about a woman who's trying to keep from getting cancer. And if her family has been decimated, like Dana says, then you ought to know why she did what she did and not make those comments. You know, the reason why she's bringing that up is because she's getting lambasted now. She is getting attacked for her sick and disgusting comments. And she deserves every bit of it. Pretty much, if you work for Glenn Beck, well, you're a disgusting excuse for a human. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plain Pundits Radio. We will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense, or back to the Reaver of Common Sense. Either way, welcome. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. But remember, the Jersey Takeover has taken over. We are 2 hours strong every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, it's pretty easy. Just go to Reaver.one. That's REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. Also, click on the subscribe. If you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one again and click on the Reaver store. So I started talking about it, but I got kind of sidetracked, which is no problem. Wyoming welder is facing $16 million in fines over a stock pond. He created a pond on his property. See, that's all I'm getting tired of is the government stepping in. He created a fucking pond. And the EPA comes running to attack him. A Wyoming man threatened with $16 million in fine over building a stock pond reached a settlement with the Environmental Protection Agency, allowing him to keep the pond without federal permit or hefty fines. Andy Johnson, a Fort Bridge, Wyoming, obtained a state permit before building the stock pond in 2012 on his sprawling 9 acres farm for a small herd of livestock. Not long after construction, the EPA threatened Johnson with civil and criminal penalties, including the threat of $37,500 a day fine, claiming he needed the agency's permission before building the 40 by 300 foot pond, which is filled by a natural stream. Again, that is his property, not the EPA's. That is his property to do with as he sees fit. Not the United States government, not Russia, not China. It is his property. Where is it? Anybody's right to go in and say what he can and can't do on his property. Did he not pay for that property? Does he not pay taxes on that property? Then it is his to do as he sees fit. And if something happens, then it is his problem. This is another overreach of a federal alphabet soup agency. And it's happening all the time. It was very threatening. Johnson, a professional welder and married father of 4, said of the EPA's compliance order against him. I was shocked and devastated, and I didn't know what to do, Johnson told Fox News Tuesday. I'm sitting there thinking I'm the only provider for my whole family. How can I fight this? On Monday, though, lawyers representing Johnson announced that the federal government agreed to resolve the case, and a federal court has approved. Under the settlement, Johnson's pond will remain. He won't pay any fines or concede any federal jurisdiction to the regulation of the pond. And the government won't pursue any further enforcement actions based on the pond's construction. The only condition, according to Johnson lawyers, are that willow trees be planted around the pond and a partial fence installed to control livestock. Whoop-de-doo. You mean if that was their whole issue from the start, they couldn't say, hey, can you plant some trees around it? Can you put up a partial fence? Instead, no, they want to come in all hard ass. This is why the EPA needs to fucking go away. This is why people are getting tired of the overreach of the federal government. This is Obama's overreach, which he has done extensively with multiple alphabet soup names. And if I was this guy, I'd be worried for the next couple of months because Obama does not like to lose these fights, and he will send other alphabet soups after him. Guaranteed. He will have another agency up his ass because he beat Obama. Watch and see. We saw it with the BLM. No charges have ever been filed. A year later, they start arresting people. A year later. Nobody was hiding. A year later, they decided to charge people. Because why? Because they embarrassed Obama. And he doesn't like to be beat. And that son of a bitch can't get out of office fast enough. It is another example of overreach, which keeps happening time and time again. It is the man owns the property. It is his property. Who the hell is it the government to tell him what to do? I look at it this way. You want to tell me what to do on my property? Pay my fucking bills. If not, if I'm paying the bills, piss off. The only condition, according to Johnson's lawyer, was the willow tree and the partial fence. This is a victory of common sense in the environment, and it brings an end to all the uncertainty and fear that the Johnson families faced, said Mr. Woods, a staff attorney with the Pacific Legal Foundation who represented Johnson in his court challenge to the EPA in negotiating the settlement. The EPA never identified any environmental problems with the pond. In fact, it's been a boom for the environment. An EPA spokesman was not immediately available for comment when contacted Tuesday. The government has said Johnson violated the Clean Water Act by building a dam on a creek without a permit from the Army Corps of Engineers and claimed material from his pond was being discharged into other waterways. As the EPA was demanding the pond be ripped out, a former federal regulator claimed it was a benefit to the environment by creating wetlands habitat for fish and wildlife and clean the water that passed through it. Woods said Tuesday that the EPA has a broad interpretation of the Clean Water Act and noted that the federal law clearly exempts stock ponds from the rules of the agencies. Under Supreme Court precedents, the federal government can regulate waters only if they have significant nexus to navigatable water. Johnson's ponds drains to a man-made irrigation ditch where the water is used for agriculture, according to the Pacific Legal Foundation. The only thing he has to do is plant willows around the pond and put in a partial fence to control livestock. The irony of this case is the government has insisted all along this isn't a stock pond. Over the last 4 years, the pond has served as a safe and accessible water supply for his Angus steers and horses. It has also become a natural home for various fish, including brown and brook trout, and a regular stop for waterfowl and moose. Oh my God, the horrors of the environment. The horrors that he has put in a water pond and it is given access to animals. It is given a home to fish. Oh, the horrors that he has given a home to fish. He gave a home to waterfowl and moose. Oh, the horrors. The evil man he was to create a water source for these creatures. Government keeps saying it's out for the best of the environment. But yet when you create an environment that helps the animals, they come and knock in and try to stop you. This is not the only time this has happened. It won't be the last. This is the overreach. This is the absolute disgusting overreach of our federal government. And the people ought to be pissed off this even happened. Whether he won or not, this should piss off the people. He created a fucking pond. A pond. And it is given home to the trout and other fish. It is given home and a waterway for horses and steer, moose, all the other woodland creatures. And the federal government thought that was such an evil thing. It is absolutely ridiculous. And whoever actually started this should be put up on charges. Johnson said he hopes his legal case will give hope to others who might face similar battles in the future. This is a huge victory for us as well as private property owners across the country. The next family that finds itself in our situation facing ominous threats from EPA can take heart in knowing that many of these threats will not come to pass. if, like us, you stand up to the overreaching bureaucrats, they may very well back down. There's also another case that has happened recently where the guy's doing jail time because he created a water retention pond. And all it did was collect rainwater. The evil of the man. It didn't go draining anywhere. He just created a pond in his backyard, and the rain fills it up. And he's had to do jail time because of it. It's how disgusting our government has gotten, how much of an overreach. This is why we need to stand up and smack their hands and tell them who is in charge, and that is up. We got to stop letting them run us. We are the ones with the power. We are the ones that are in charge. Not them. We create the power. We give them the power, and they have, at this point, taken control and think they are the ones. We've heard Obama talk about it, how he is the power. He is not the power. The power is in the people. Our own documents tell us. We have the power. I know they tried hiding it and they tried teaching our kids different. That's not the way it works. Let's see. Pulling up because I don't want to misquote. I don't like to misquote. Nope, I don't. I got to shut the plug off there. There we go. Paragraph 2. We hold these truths to be self-evidence that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, government are instituted among men, derive their just power from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principle and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. It is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. Our government has grown too big, too large, and too powerful. It is time to smack that power down. And one step that we have done, we have shown that we, the people, can make a difference, because otherwise we would not have Trump as our nominee. That is not what the establishment, that's not what the power wanted. They tried everything they could to direct it in that direction, but we, the people, stood up and said, no, this is who we want. We have the power and we can control. I know it's been years and it's been a long time since we have shown that we do have the power. And it's a nice reminder to show that we do have it. There's been a lot of people over the years that have blindly just listened. I've been one of them. I am not above it. But I spoke up this year, and I hope others continue to wake up and speak. We must not let our government get out of control. We've sat back for too long and allowed the government to do whatever it wants. It's time we take back control. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying coffee was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. Damn button not working. So during the break, and I know I normally go into the welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense and all that, and welcome back. So I had someone on my Facebook sitting here. The person is anti-Trump. Congratulations, you're anti-Trump. Hey, you know what? And I put up with him for a while, and we kind of had it out, and he kind of stopped. Now, for some reason, on a post I put up about the anti-Trump dating site launches to help Americans move to Canada. Yes, they're going to start. If he becomes president, they will make the site go live so that people in Canada can start dating people in America that are afraid of their feelings about Trump, and they can leave. Well, for some reason, the person decides to put up, how do you feel about Trump hiding his tax returns and not self-funding his campaign? Any red flags yet with the common sense guy? Well, I'll tell you this. The common sense guy is going to tell you this. I don't give a flying fuck about his tax return. Never have, never will. I've never talked about any other candidate's tax return. I don't give a fuck. And as for this not self-funding, it hasn't even started yet, and you're complaining that he's not self-funding? How the fuck do you know if he's not self-funding if we're not even there yet? Explain that to me. If you're going to be anti-Trump, explain to me how you know what he's doing when it hasn't even started yet. We haven't even started in on the general election. And the only ones I hear that he's not going to self-fund are from you fucking piece of shit, never Trump people. I'm sick and tired of it. You're whining and crying like little fucking kids. Get over yourself. You are the minority of the Republican Party. You are the minority of this group. Get along with the program or get the fuck out. If you want to act like liberals, go join the Democrat Party. If you want to whine like a little bitch, go to the Democrat Party. For years, I had to put up with candidates that were not the ones that I thought were best for America. I voted for McCain. Did not think he was worth my vote. But he was better than Obama. You're talking about shit that hasn't even started yet. Oh my fucking God, people. Get over yourself. The general election hasn't even exactly started. And everything I keep hearing them say, thank you. Thank you. Someone else just put in there, what does his taxes and campaign funding have to do with a goddamn America's relocating to Canada? Listen, I don't care about his taxes. And a company with somebody that big, yes, they get audited. Big fuck them whoop-de-doo. Have they found anything illegal? If you're being investigated, do you throw everything out in the public also? No, you don't. You're looking for issues where there is no issues. He has said multiple times already, he will be self-funding. Does he get help from the Republican Party? Yes. But he also said he will be taking those funds that he gets and putting them back into to help senators get reelected. It blows me out of my mind. It really blows my mind when people act like this. And then the person's got to put up there, oh, so sorry for bringing a couple inconvenient issues on Trump, put blinders on, carry on. No, when there is no major issue and you're out to start fucking issues. It just pisses me off. And I know I'm being quiet. I do apologize. It just, I'm typing something out and it's pissing me the hell off. I tell you what, I'm going to go to early break. That's where I can have a nice long finish to the show and we could talk about a couple of things without any problems. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, dude, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com.
times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
All right. Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host. Oops. Wrong damn button. I'm clicking wrong buttons all day today. All right. I'm going to get away from this because the person's starting to piss me off. Oh, there's problems with Trump. There's this, there's that. No, there fucking isn't. You half-wit, never Trump motherfuckers. By the way, this is my cousin that is pissing me off. I am sick and tired of these never Trump crybabies. You don't like it? This is the American process. You don't like it? Piss off. You sit there and talk about how you're a constitutional conservative, but you're not following the rules that are set down. You're crying about the rules. Piss off. I'm just, I'm so sick of this bullshit. Because they're crying and whining because they didn't get their goddamn way. Oh, well, that is the American process. I've had to deal with your idiot candidates before. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of these crying, whining little never Trumps. So you got people that are saying now, you're anti-Catholic if you question Paul Ryan's hypocrisy. Paul Ryan, who's bent over more times for the Democrats. There's a tempest brewing in the American Catholic teapot over a recent piece that was written that contrasts Paul Ryan's education choices for his kids and the immigration choices he wants to impose upon Americans. I've seen people whom I respect get revved up and accuse Han and Breitbart of playing the anti-Catholic card. I'm a lifelong Catholic who went to 12 years of Catholic school and have written 6 books defending the faith. I know that Catholic schools are very important both to the church and to America. I'm awed at the heroic sacrifices my ancestors in the faith put forth to build that network of schools in the face of then genuine bigotry. My dad went door to door with a can collecting the money to build my Catholic high school. I encourage readers to contribute financially to endangered urban Catholic schools that serve the poor far better than statistic public money pits. I know how urgent that is because one of my closest friends teaches at such an urban Catholic school, the kind of school that gives us Clarence Thomas. Well, let's not act like social justice snowflakes and run around inventing opportunities to claim that we've been microaggressed. The question that Hannah raised about Ryan is perfectly legitimate, and if we Catholics want to be taken serious as citizens, instead of pruning as an aggressive minority, which frankly no one is buying. We need to address such answers as adults. Oh, I'm still fuming about my cousin and his mouth. Oh. Acted more like goddamn liberals. It just... It drives me nuts. These people drive me up a goddamn wall. Trump's not conservative. Trump's not a Republican. Well, let me tell you, he's more conservative, more of a Republican than you never Trump fuckers. You're the ones that are trying to get Hillary Clinton elected. That's what you're doing. You're trying to get a fucking socialist bitch elected. And it pisses me the hell off. That's all they're doing is trying to help Hillary. Hillary, the butcher of Benghazi, get elected. You are assisting her. You are assisting Obama's agenda. You are repeating Obama's words. That's how conservative you are, that you're helping the liberals. You are helping the Democrats. You are helping the socialist movement. You bought into a liberal media myth about Trump, and you are parodying it. You are repeating it. God damn you people. And then you want to attack me? Tell you what, if being conservative is helping Hillary, then yes, I am not a conservative. If being a Republican is helping Hillary, then I am not a Republican. I don't need to be part of any group. Talk about libertards, they do. You're fucking helping them. The people have spoken. The people have spoken, period. And this is the choice. Shut the fuck up. Either help Hillary or just shut the fuck up already. God, the only thing you're doing by running your mouth is helping Hillary. So if you're going to run your mouth, at least go to the Democrat side. Yes, I know you have free speech and all that. Yes, I understand that. But you know what? Don't sit there and say, I'm a constitutional conservative. You're constitutional conservative as you help Hillary. Real great on the Constitution side. This is the problem when you have a bunch of politicians that are so fucking stupid and they try to attack somebody and they create these issues and they create this hatred so that they can get fucking elected. And then when they get dropped on their ass, now they got a bunch of mindless morons running around going, he said he was not a conservative. God damn, people. get our act together. We don't need Hillary. And that's what you never Trump are doing. You're whining and crying because your candidate didn't get elected. You're supposed to be this conservative, this constitutional conservative, but at the same time, I hear him saying, well, I'm okay with Hillary. I'm okay with Hillary. Window wicking dumbass motherfuckers. Oh, got me so pissed off. So pissed off right now. Oh my God. My blood pressure is up. And don't say I only go after certain. This is my cousin. I have no fucking problem. You want to act like a libertard? I'll treat you like a libertard. You got a Harvard professor that's urging liberals to treat evangelist Christians like Nazis. A Harvard law professor is telling his fellow liberals that the culture wars are over and the victorious left should treat conservative Christians the way allies treated Germany and Japan after World War II, offering no quarter or clemency. I didn't know we were at war with each other, but if you want to act like we're at war with each other, that's fine, you dumb piece of shit, because you did not win the culture wars. They are not over. That fight is still going. But what you do by making comments like that is you push people to go to one extreme or the other. An online post, the 70-year-old dumb fuck professor, a surviving member of the old guard of the 1960s liberal elites, advises his like-minded minions to abashedly take up aggressively liberal position because they are no longer meet resistance, especially after the death of Supreme Court Justice Scalia. Since they lost, we won. I didn't know we lost. And announced it is time to press the liberal advantage and abandon any defensive position. In his post titled Abandoning Defensive Crouch Liberal Constitutionalism, he urges more radicalism, not less, insists that now is the time to overturn key cases that have hindered the liberal cause. So confident he is in his victory that he reckons the main issue at the moment has nothing to do with military strategy, but rather how to mop up the mess and deal with the losers of the cultural wars of American conservatives. This is just more proof of the idiocy and that they are out to destroy America. We have idiots like him teaching our kids. We have idiots like him at Harvard. He is a dumb motherfucker. And they piss me off. I know my language is going to hell today, but you know what? I am pissed off about shit today. He goes on, for liberals, the question now is how to deal with the losers in the culture war. That's mostly a question of tactics. My own judgment is that taking a hard line, you lost, live with it, is better than trying to accommodate the loser. Well, let me tell you, I don't see how you won. I didn't even know that there was a major war going on, but you know what? Again, you are going to push people to the wrong side. You're going to push people to extremes with that kind of attitude. Trying to be nice to the losers didn't work well after the Civil War, nor after Brown. Taking a hard line seems to work reasonably well in Japan and Germany after 1945. As author and commentator Ryan Anderson observes, the professor depicts the losers of the American culture war, meaning primarily Orthodox Jews, Roman Catholic, and evangelist Christians, as the functional equivalent of racists and Nazis. The professor blames that he calls the culture wars on conservative, and he says liberals should now make conservatives pay. Bring it on, pussy. Bring it on. This piece of shit professor is He is out for the destruction of everything that is the United States. And I'm not saying those that are against gay people. I couldn't give a shit who you sleep with. I've talked about that multiple times. But if you want to go a hard line, I can go a hard line. You are anti-American piece of shit that should be in jail. You're out for the destruction of this country. That is traitorous. You want to go hard lines? There's more of us, you dumb motherfucker, than there are of you. And if you want to push issues, we can push issues. The conservative movement can step up the arguments. Once we understand there's more of us and less of you, the less chance you have of survival. We can make things so hard on you that you will run and cry and piss yourself. You're a simple-minded Harvard professor. You're not that smart. You want to create a quote-unquote war? Let me tell you, your pussies couldn't stand 5 minutes in a verbal battle with me. I've had it with liberals before, and I've watched them run away crying. You didn't win shit. You may have won one battle, but that does not mean you won the war, Professor. Today's not a good day. My blood pressure is going to be all over the place. Kevin McCarthy joins Trump delegate list from California. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy is one of 3 delegates for a presumptive Republican presidential nominee, Donald Trump, from California's 23rd Congressional District, according to an official list of delegates released late Monday. McCarthy was known to be a supportive of Trump's effort to recruit local delegates, but now he will formally join Republican Darrell Issas among senior Republicans representing Trump at the National Convention in Cleveland in July. McCarthy's participation as a delegate is noteworthy for a variety of reasons. One is that the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, is undecided on Trump, despite promising earlier this year that he would support Trump if he was the party's nomination. Another reason is that McCarthy's district, which includes Bakersfield and parts of southern Central Valley, as well as small pieces of Los Angeles County, is heavily Latino. Breitbart News has projected Senator Ted Cruz to win the 23rd. Finally, McCarthy's support. I wish we could, and let me interrupt what we were talking about. Kel just put in, she would like to know how we could ban liberal and socialist professors from teaching. I wish we could, because they are destroying everything that is feasible in this country. They got this unicorn world where they think everybody can just throw their money in together and we all be equals. Well, I don't see him giving up all his money to be equal with anybody else, because I'm pretty sure he's getting paid a hefty fee to be a professor so that he could spew this false narrative that socialism is good. How is it good? There has not been a country that has succeeded in socialism. All the socialism fails. It does every time because you run out of money. Venezuela has one of the deepest oil reserves. Can be one of the richest countries, but yet the people have a socialist government, and literally people are starving in the street. Socialism fails across the board. You have Europe, it is failing across the board. It was good when the United States protected Europe and we provided the military. Now that we have a piece of shit president that has pushed socialism into this country, we've had to do away with our military support, which has taken our military support away from Europe. Europe has no protection, so now they have to take their money and start building up a military. So they can't take that money and protect themselves at the same time. Their socialism is failing. We do not need everybody to go to college. But when we do send them there, they're being brainwashed by these liberal pieces of crap that don't deserve to have a job like that. You're there to teach kids history and so forth. not brainwash and indoctrinate. And that's what we have going on in today's society, is brainwashing and indoctrination. I said before, he wants to consider it a war. That's fine. That was one battle they won. You're pushing a lot of people a little bit too far, and they're going to fight back. And when you act like that, and I'm not Catholic, I'm not evangelist, I'm not any of that. And I find what you said to be repulsive. And let me get to where Mark Tushnet, Tushnet. He is a professor at Harvard. I suggest we all start emailing and calling Harvard and filing complaints about this professor. Lambaste their email system with emails. Light up their phone lines. Let's show them who is who and who can win. Light up the phone lines of Harvard complaining about his comments. He wants to start a war. Let's fight it. Because I haven't lost, and I don't give up easy. With that, that's the end of the show, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Thank you for having me. And I know today was one of those aggressive days. Well, you know what? I care about this country. I love this country, and I won't give up easy on this country. Have a good day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.